All right. Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm going to be doing a yoga class for stress reduction and meditative breathing. I'm going to be basing everything off of this textbook. It's from a class I'm actually taking on campus. It's called CP 420. It's a mindfulness class, and it has a ton of really awesome resources in it. So that's what this class is going to be based off of. You don't have to have a yoga mat to do this. This is accessible to anyone. You don't need to have experience. I'll be explaining everything. If you do have like blocks or something that simulates blocks, like a shoe box or like a weight that's like this height, um, that will work too, but you don't need them. I don't really know if I'll be using them. We'll see what we get into. But also this practice is going to be mainly on the ground. So like you don't have to get up. It's not going to be super crazy. It's going to be more of like a yin style, more slow paced, restorative. First, we're going to start on our mats. And if you don't have a mat, that's okay too. I like to sit on a block to start. We're going to start with some pranayama breathing. That is alternate nostril breathing through the left and right nostril. This type of breathing exercise brings really good clarity to the brain and to the entire body. It circulates air through the left and right to kind of clear everything out. You might need some tissues. I know these are hot commodities right now, so if you don't have them, that's okay, but you might need to blow your nose during this breathing exercise. We are going to, there's two mudras. So the first mudra with your left hand, pointer finger and thumb, rest, kind of making like the okay sign onto your lap or onto your knee, arm straight out. Then with your right hand, you're going to make peace symbol. Your pointer and your middle finger are going to fold down like that. And then your thumb can kind of just rest or not rest, but be out. And then your ring finger is going to press onto your left nostril, and eventually your thumb's going to press onto your right nostril. The way this is going to work, you're going to start with your thumb on your right nostril, breathe in, close, breathe out. We'll do this a few times. You can do this with your eyes closed. So first, let's take a few breaths, kind of get ourselves centered and ready. We're going to breathe in and out. Okay, so we're going to start with our fingers towards our face. I know this is touching our face. My hands are clean, I promise. Make sure your hands are clean too. We want to stay safe during this time. So first, we're going to start closing our right nostril. Breathe in through your left. Close. Breathe out through your right. Now breathe in through your right. Close. Breathe out through your left. Now that is one cycle of this. We're going to do this a few more times. So breathe in through your left. Close. Breathe out through your right. Breathe in. Close. Breathe out through your left. Breathe in. Close. Breathe out through your right. Breathe in. Close. Breathe out through your left. Breathe in. Close. Breathe out to your right. Breathe in. Close. Breathe out to your left. Go ahead and do a couple on your own. If you're not sure, open your eyes and watch me. Okay, once you breathe out through your left nostril, go ahead and release both your mudras, your hands. Just sit. Realize how much more clarity you have. Now just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, now that we're a little bit more centered, let's go ahead and start our practice. So today we're going to start in tabletop position. If you do not know what that is, go to your hands and your knees. I'll move sideways here. So you're like this. Bring a little bit, do not dip down into your shoulders. Bring them up to a neutral spine and kind of look off into the distance. And here, we're going to be doing an Ujjayi breath through this entire practice. So make sure what an Ujjayi breath is you're going to put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And you'll be breathing in and out through your nose with sound. So it's going to be a little bit like this, if you can hear me. You're going to hear it in yourself. It's going to kind of sound like waves crashing. That is the essential part of this practice. So at any time that you do not feel comfortable or safe, or you're losing that Ujjayi breath, come down. You can either come here to the back of your heels. I personally really like child's pose, so you reach down, put your head down into the mat, regain your breath. If that sounds great to you, you can stay there the entire practice. Today's practice is mainly going to be down on our mat. We're not going to do a lot of standing or a lot of moving, but at any time that is a place where you can go. Now back to tabletop. If you weren't already there. Hand shoulder width, knees hip distance. Now we're going to do a cat-cow. So we're going to go into cow. Breathe in, drop the belly, look up. Inhale. Exhale, arch the back, cat. Look like one of those scary black cats. Arch the back, lean back, breathe out. Cow. Cat. We'll do a few of these. You can follow me, or you can do it in your own breath. Slow or fast, whatever you feel like doing this morning. All right, let's meet back in a neutral spine. Now we're gonna kind of warm the body up a little bit more today. So I want you to stick your right foot out, arch your toes kind of like this. If this is all you want, stay here, or you can lift. Make sure your hips are nice and balanced, and then you can raise your arm too. You can't see me doing that, but you can be here, leg lifted, arm out, whatever you want. If you have both out, crunch in, breathe out. Make sure you're breathing whatever you're doing. Crunch in. Inhale. Crunch in. Hold it. Inhale. If you want, reach back, grab your foot, pull up, look up if you can. Down. Right. Back to a neutral spine. Now let's lift our left leg back. You can be here, lifted, or arm out. If you have both out, let's do a little bit of ab work. Breathe in, exhale. 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 Hold it. Now kick out. Grab the inside of your foot. Lift up. Look up if you can. Keep breathing. Drop. Let's go down to child's pose really quick. Stretch out the body. Go ahead and lift up. We're gonna stretch. So bring your hands over to the right, however far you can. You should be feeling a stretch in the left side of your body. Remember to breathe. And then next inhale, go ahead and lift up. Shift to the center. And then move to the left. You should be feeling a nice stretch in your right side of your body. No pain, no strain. Just go ahead and lift up. If you want a little bit more, join me. If not, go ahead. Come back down to child's pose and keep stretching. I'm gonna do some push-up variation. So you'll start like you are in butterfly, or not butterfly, child's pose with your legs, or with your legs closed like this. Inhale, come forward, look forward. Make sure you're not dropping down like that. But you have here. You're not dropping like that. But you're engaging your core tight. You roll forward. Keep going forward. Down. Up. Back. Like that. We're going to do a few of those just to warm up the upper body. So inhale, drop, lift, back. Exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, inhale. All right. Now we're feeling a little bit more warm. Let's go ahead and do some neck rolls. Either way, exhale as you drop, inhale as you lift up. If you feel any place in your neck where you feel more tension, go ahead and stop there. Hold it and breathe. If you want to keep rolling, keep rolling. Switch directions. I need some water. I promise I'm not sick. We're doing a lot of throat opening. For me, that's a sensitive spot, so I typically cough a lot. All right. Leave back of your head at neutral. Go ahead. Place your left hand right next to you. Maybe about a hand distance away from your hip. Go ahead and reach your right arm up and place it onto the left side of your head. Not even really pulling, just there to help support. You should be feeling a stretch all down the side of your neck and a little bit of your shoulder area, upper shoulder area. What you want to do with this hand is pretend it's stretching away from you, pulling you in opposite directions. So you can feel the stretch. Now just breathe. We'll be here for a few breaths. All right. Go ahead and walk your fingers to the right side of your head and help guide your head back to neutral. Take a breath here at neutral. Now place your right hand about the same distance as your left. Oh, also if you're not comfortable, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. If you're not comfortable sitting on your knees like this, you're more than welcome to you can either sit an easy pose, which is just like crisscross applesauce like this. You'll still get the same stretch. Or if you have a block, you can place a block right behind you and sit on it. So if we're in any pose that we're sitting like this, that's what you can do. Should have mentioned that earlier, I'm sorry. Okay, so back, right hand about one hand width away. Use your left hand, crawl it over to the right side, and gently pull, act as if your right hand is pulling you away. You can slowly creep it if you want more. The more you creep your hand away, the more intense the stretch will be. Now breathe. We'll be here for a few breaths. We hold a lot of tension here in our neck, our shoulders, and our hips. So that's what we're going to be working on today, trying to release that stress and that tension from anything that we're trying to hold on to. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, creep your fingers around and help pull it back up. All right. Let's go ahead and meet in child's pose. Stretch it out. If you want to stay there, stay there. If not, let's go ahead and go to our backs. If you have blocks, we're going to do a little bit of a restorative pose. If not, you're going to meet me in Shavasana or corpse pose, which is simply just laying. Kind of relax, let your body go. This is where you're going to be if you do not have props. If you do have props, follow me. So there are 3 different levels of blocks. This is level 1, level 2, and level 3. So you're going to take your first block, have it at level 2, and your second block here at level 3. You're going to want level 2 to rest along, kind of like your back, right underneath your shoulder blades area. Can't really see with the lighting, but, and then the block on the third is going to be right where the back of your head is going to rest. This is restorative fish pose. We'll be here for a few breaths, so just get everything organized. All right. This is an amazing heart opener. In these times, we need love and light. I think this is the best time to make it here for yourself and for the people you are currently quarantining with. Let's remember to keep breathing if you're in corpse pose or in Shavasana. Keep relaxed. If you are in this restorative pose, make sure you are breathing. Allow you to relax. Hello. If you just joined, go ahead and meet us on your backs. We're going to be doing the banana pose next. So go ahead. If you just joined us, you do not need a mat or anything. This is more like a restorative practice to release some stress. So go ahead when you're ready, go ahead and reach your arms up. Take a deep breath in, out. Go ahead and bring your arms over to the right side. You should feel a nice stretch into the left side of your body. If you want more, you can bring your legs over to the right. You'll feel more of an intense stretch. Go ahead and breathe. And on your next exhale, go ahead and move back to the center. Stretch up, up, up. Have your toes pointed up to the ceiling. Go ahead and take a breath here. And on your exhale, reach over to the left side. You should feel a nice stretch on the left side of your body. If you want more, bring your feet over too. We'll be here for a few breaths. All right, go back to the center on your next exhale. Go ahead and cactus your arms, so you'll just bring them out like a goalpost and let your feet hang out to the side. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and bring your legs up to your knees, or grab your knees, bring them up to your chest. Kind of rock side to side.
Jesus Christ.
All right, go ahead and let go of your left leg. Keep your right leg up. Go ahead and put some pressure down onto it. This is really good for your digestive system. If you want, you can do some ankle rolls with your ankle. Make sure you're still breathing. All right, go ahead and bring in both knees, give them a squeeze. And let your right leg go and give your left leg a squeeze. You want to do mid ankle rolls on the other side, do them on this side. Make sure you go both directions. Also make sure you're still breathing. All right, go ahead and bring both your legs in, give them one more squeeze. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of ab work. If you'd like to join us, you are more than welcome to place your hands underneath your hips, or you can put, if you want a little bit more, put your hands behind your head, or if you don't want any at all, go ahead and lay back down into corpse pose or shavasana. So first we're going to start with your legs together. Do an inhale, then exhale. Slowly bringing them down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Inhale them up. Bring toes in, heels out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. Now heels in, toes out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Bring it up. Good. Now just squeeze the legs into your chest. All right, now go ahead and put your hands behind your knees and rock and roll. Go ahead and come up. All right, now we are back and seated. Let's go ahead, kind of release what we just did in our backs. The ab. Start rotating. Exhale as we go down, inhale as we come up. You can go as crazy and as funky as you want, go into yourself. No one's watching, I promise. Okay, make sure you switch sides. Inhale as we come up, exhale as we go down. All right, let's come back to neutral. Now we're gonna go exhale as we go down. Inhale as we roll back up. Exhale as we roll down. Inhale as we go up. Find a good rhythm with your breath. Let's meet back at neutral. Let's just take a few breaths here. Hands can be on your knees for grounding, or hands can be open for openness. So be open. I'm gonna be. If you'd like to stay here forever. You can't stay there forever. If you want to keep going, let's go ahead and meet on our bellies. Go ahead and put your arms up, kind of like a sphinx. This is called sphinx pose or modified cobra pose. You want your elbows in. Here, let me scoot back a little bit so you can see. You want your elbows in, shoulders back. You don't want to be down and dropped like this. You tight. Use your muscles in your back. We'll just be here for a few breaths. If this is too intense for you, you can drop down. Place your hands right on top of another and lay your head. If you're going to be doing that, I'll let you know at the halfway point and I'll allow you to switch. Switch your hand positioning. Start with your left hand on top. Go ahead and switch if you have your hand on your forehead. All right, now we're gonna lift up into the full expression. So make sure that your shoulders are pulled back and you're not dropping down, up, and you're gonna look, if this is still too much for you, you can go to the position that we were just in, or you can go back down to your forehead to your hands, or child's pose. But if you're here, we'll look over our left shoulder, looking back at our feet. Make sure we are breathing. Go ahead, back neutral, and over to the right side, looking back at our feet from the right, over the right shoulder. All right, so from here, we're gonna go to downward dog. If you would not like to do this pose, or if you do not know how to do this pose, go ahead and watch me. If you would like, you can stay in tabletop here, or down into downward, or to child's pose here. If you want to follow me, go ahead. If you're starting from tabletop, go ahead and reach your hands a few inches forward. And then tuck your toes, and you're going to lift your chest towards your knees. If you need to, you can have your knees bent. Here, let me go this way. You can have your knees bent. I just got my water also. Like this, so your chest goes towards your knees. Fingers planted here, shoulders out of the ears. You want to feel a stretch down your whole back. If you get the chance, make sure your feet are about hip width distance. Bring them down. Once you feel warm enough, you can shove your heels down to the ground. All right. If you're in tabletop, go ahead and lift your leg up and thread it through. It's kind of awkward, I'm sorry. And then stretch back to pigeon. If you are in downward dog, go ahead, lift your right leg up and thread it down. Your right knee to right ankle, or right wrist, and then your right ankle to left wrist. You can stay here. Personally, I might. If not, if you have a block, you can bring your head down to a block. If this is too much for you, you can go down to child's pose. This is an amazing hip opener. In our hips, we hold a lot of emotion. Witness the emotion. Don't attach yourself to it. Just look at it. Like, hey, I know you. Then breathe through it. I promise you it'll pass. We'll be here for a few breaths. All right. If you were meeting us in downward dog, go ahead, lift your right leg up, place it back down on the ground, stretch, wiggle, whatever you need to do. Let's go ahead and then inhale, lift up our left leg, and exhale, bring left knee, left wrist, left ankle, right wrist. You're just gonna stretch. You can stay here. Put your head to a block. And lower down. Make sure we're breathing and not attaching. Just letting. Let it go, let it be. There's no positive, no negative. Just the neutral mind. Once you find the neutral mind, that is where change happens. All right. If you want to stay, you can stay, but if you want, only stay for a few more breaths if you're going to stay. If not, go ahead and lift back. Stretch, wiggle. If you want to learn the jump through to get back onto your seat, is you can follow me. If not, find a way to where you can get onto your back. So you're gonna go left, right, sit. That is the most elementary way on getting to your seat in yoga from downward dog. So now go ahead and go into your backs. Make sure your feet are planted onto the mat about shoulder width apart, close enough, and then bring them towards your butt where you'd be able to touch them. We're going to do a couple of bridge. If you have a block, you can set it underneath your hips for more of a restorative pose. If you want to activate your glute muscles, we're going to do a couple bridge. So on your inhale, go ahead and lift up. You can interlace your fingers together behind your back or reach towards your heels. Go ahead and breathe. And drop on your exhale. Go ahead and lift right back up. We'll be doing 3 of these. Go ahead and drop. Last one. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, go ahead and drop. So now we're going to go into the figure 4 pose. So that can either be seated up like this with your feet on your mat. Take your right leg, put your ankle onto the fleshy part of your thigh, right above your knee. If this is not enough for you, go ahead and lay back. If this is still not enough for you, go ahead and grab behind your knee and use your right elbow to push your hip out. Be here for a few breaths. All right, go ahead and switch. Do the same thing you did on the right side to the left side, whatever modification suits you. Also, no pain, no strain. If you do not want pain or strain, that is how you injure yourself in anything. And if you feel a good stretch, stay there and breathe. All right. Now we're going to move into a pose called Happy Baby. You're going to stay on your back with your feet up in the air. Reach the outsides of your feet. Try to keep your sacrum on the ground as much as possible. So you're going to be pushing up with your feet. Have your arms extended. You can stay here. You can rock back and forth. Make sure you're still breathing. Maybe you inhale and you rock one way, and exhale and you rock back the other. All right, you can stay there. We can come up. We're gonna do stretch. Go ahead and start with your knees towards your chest, your back straight. This is more of a back stretch than it is a hamstring stretch. To have a flexible back is to have flexible hamstrings. A lot of points of attachment of muscles are up here in your lower back for your hamstrings. So if you're really arched and up like this, but your legs are straight and you're reaching down and touching your toes, that's not good. So that's not beneficial, I should say. So you can start here. If you feel like you can keep your back straight, go ahead and start arching your way forward. Wherever your stopping point is, go ahead and stop there. breathe. You can either drop your head down to get more of a back stretch or stay here. All right, go ahead and lift up. If there's anything else you want to do before we end our practice, go ahead. If not, go ahead and slowly engage your core. Go down into your final Shavasana. Let's go ahead and breathe in and out. Your mouth. Go ahead and do it one more time. Breathe in and out your mouth. Let everything go. Let your body go. Release. This is where the magic happens. This is where change and healing happens. I would like you to stay here as long as you want. Try to stay longer if you want to leave. This is the most important pose of our entire practice. You can let go of your breathing. Let it go back to its natural state. I'll leave you with this. Whenever you're ready to get up, I'd say not now, wait a little bit. Go ahead and sit back up. And just recognize the change that you made for yourself. But for now, rest. Namaste. Thank you.